is that we live in the world of the instant replay. Around the planet, all the events are not only being recorded but replayed. And the amazing thing about the replay is that it offers the means of recognition. The first time is cognition, the second time is recognition. And the recognition is even deeper. I think that perhaps what you are interested in with regard to the rosary has a lot to do with the replay.
I would love you to develop that.
Well, it comes to mind at once that much of the complaint about the rosary as repetitive is precisely replay. And it is a perpetual deepening, not a superficial treatment at all. But there is in the replay a deeper awareness of the pattern and of the events that have taken place, the pattern of events, the process. And so replay offers a deeper level of awareness than the first play. And I think the rosary is a perpetual way of deepening our awareness, and the repetitions are really very close to the world of resonance, which is itself a world of profound involvement and of insight and a feeling of at-homeness. But this is only off the cuff, apropos the world we live in today.
Yes.
We live in an electric, simultaneous world where most of the relationships between men are now invisible. The human bond, the electric, instant bond around the planet, is invisible, which is not unlike the things we're talking about in relation to the mystical body.
Yes.
Which is entirely around us and entirely invisible, or at least mostly invisible. But we had, been getting into some very large matters about the effects of this new environment, this new electric environment on man and his awareness of himself. In the new quantum mechanics, the term interface implies a resonant interval in which there are no connections in matter as understood in the new physics, but there is a perpetual resonating interval between particles or among particles. And this resonance is the interface, and it is in this interval of resonance that the action takes place. It leads on to the most basic matters about our own world of the dropout, because the dropout is a person who experiences the need to set up more space between himself and things. He wants more room. He wants an interface. He wants a kind of resonant dialogue. He wants to rap, to chat and empathize with everybody about everything. And this, it constitutes an interface of change. In dialogue, people undergo change. It isn't just the passing of gossip back and forth, but it's a kind of interrelating by which people feel they are changed, they are getting with it, they are getting involved, they are participating. All of these things, it seems to me, profoundly relate to the rosary and to the church and the mystical body, which is also amazingly instant, surround, interface, a source of change, renewal, and an endless source of nourishment to everybody. Well, St. Paul's remark that faith comes by hearing would seem to have something to do with this resonance of the word, the divine word resonating in the human heart is a kind of interface which changes the human heart.
Yes.
And tunes it in a totally new way. And so the idea of resonance, rather than logical connectedness or logical demonstration and a mere sequence of proofs, one following another rigorously, the idea of resonance as simultaneous and total and all-involving and demanding everything that we have, and in turn feeding us and feeding back to us everything we need. The world of St. Paul's remark that faith comes by hearing rather than by any visual manifestation suggests how total it is. Somebody has, in fact, it was the old philosophers who pointed out that the world of resonance, acoustic space, is a complete sphere whose center is everywhere and whose margin is nowhere. And in the world of faith, you have that experience of being always at the center, and the center is everywhere, and the margins are nowhere. This is the amazing structure about the resonant world of hearing as compared with the visual world with its sharp boundaries, its rigid points of view, its antagonisms, differences, and contrasts, and so on. Whereas the world of faith, with its much greater power to receive and to involve, seems to rule out a lot of these petty differences, petty points of view.